Well, hello, my valued listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Living in Your Power. I'm your host, Dr. Marlene Greenleaf, and I'm truly grateful that you are here with me today. Now, as we continue our March theme, Rooted and Resilient, Strength That Endures, we are leaning into something that doesn't always get attention, but determines whether leadership lasts. So today's episode, the fourth in our March series, is titled Emotional Stamina and Leadership Endurance. So let's dive in. Now, there's a kind of strength that gets celebrated. Bold moves, public wins, visible confidence. But there's another kind of strength, quieter, steadier, that sustains everything else. That's emotional stamina. It's the ability to stay calm when things don't go our way, to remain composed when you're misunderstood, and to hold your peace when you could react. And that strength isn't loud. It's cultivated. Our anchored scripture today comes from Isaiah 40:31, the King James Version, and it reads, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." That's renew. Not manufacture, not force, renew. Emotional stamina is not about pushing harder when you're drained. It's about knowing where your renewal comes from. Notice the order in that verse. It says, they wait, then they renew, then they rise, then they run, then they walk without fainting. Waiting precedes endurance. Waiting precedes sustained movement. And too many leaders, my dear listeners, skip the waiting. They run without renewal. They lead without replenishing. They give without restoring. And eventually they faint, not because they lack calling, but because they ignored the rhythm. Leadership endurance is built through rhythm. It is built through guarding your inner peace, saying no when necessary, stepping back before resentment builds, and praying before responding. Emotional stamina means you don't allow every situation to pull you off center. You don't have to react to everything. You don't have to respond immediately. You don't have to carry every emotional weight that's placed before you. Endurance grows when you refuse to operate from depletion. And depletion is not a spiritual badge of honor. Renewal is. Depletion is not a spiritual badge of honor. Renewal is. I want you to reflect on this. I want you to sit quietly with this. I want you to think on this. It says, where am I running without renewing? Where have I mistaken exhaustion for dedication? And what would it look like to truly wait and let God restore what leadership has drained? I'm going to repeat this for you. I want you to sit quietly and think on this. Where am I running without renewing? Where have I mistaken exhaustion for dedication? What would it look like to truly wait and let God restore what leadership has drained? My dear listeners, you are not meant to collapse on the calling. You are meant to endure in it. And endurance requires renewal. So when you sit quietly and think on these three things, I want you to write it down, read it over, and then act upon it. Okay, so I'll say it one more time. Where am I running without renewing? Where have I mistaken exhaustion for dedication? And what would it look like to truly wait and let God restore what leadership has drained? My friends, emotional stamina is sacred. It protects your integrity. It sustains your purpose. And it preserves your calling. You are not weak because you need renewal. You are, in fact, wise when you seek it. So, I want to thank you for joining me for this episode 4 of our March series, Rooted and Resilient, Strength That Endures. So next week, we're going to close the month with Unshakable Strength That Endures. So you've been listening to Living in Your Power. And until next week, dear listeners, I want you to continue to live boldly in your power today. And if it gets tough, just breathe. You still got the strength to rise. So until next time, continue to live in your power.